do you fucking ask me this every goddamn time? 17 assholes. What's Flappy Bird about?
Flappy Bird. Hey, everybody.
This every goddamn time. Awesome.
Flappy Bird is a shitty game.
Oh, that's right. That's the game thing. Talked about that. No Twitter posts, apparently.
Okay.
I'm looking for... You really think I know how to use this shit? I know. When was the last lamp on? Okay. Ooh, how do we miss Paul Malone's question?
No idea. We weren't exactly... What's the word?
I did miss a house. What's your apocalypse of choice? Did we answer that one?
No.
Wow.
That's a good one. I like that one. Whose is that?
Piazza's.
Oh, Chris. Okay, we've got 3 watchers.
Okay, there's all of Tiffany's questions. So we're caught up. What are some of the best and worst con costumes? We did that one too, right? That was
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we did.
So we're caught up. There's the one. I do not know how I missed that.
Again, it was a weird setup.
I know why. Because Laura Adams posted that video, and that's as far down as I got.
There you go.
And no one can hear. Everyone can hear me, but no one can see me right now. That's awesome. Okay, so Seth's...
All right, guys, if you're listening, let us know if you can hear us in the comments. Pretty sure you can.
I heard myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Chris asked it again? Yes. Okay. Well, thank you for posting your question, too, Mr. Chris. Pretty sure you can.
That's cool.
Well, we can. Okay. So I think that is everything. Maybe?
Okay.
Sure. Oh, hey, maybe I should turn on the recording device.
Might not be the worst thing, yeah.
Yeah. So glad no one can see me right now. As Andy turns the camera on. What do you mean? Wow, we're at 43. Almost. Still been around.
All right. Hey, Laura. Hey, Tiffany. They can both hear and see us.
Yay!
And Tiffany's new YouTube handle is Playing Since Thaco, which I appreciate.
I don't get it.
Thaco? To hit armor class 0? Used to be the rating of your of what you had to beat to hit an armor class 0 guy. So like usually it's like for a wizard, Thaco's usually 19. So you have to roll 19 or 20 to hit a armor class 0 with a melee attack. D&D crap.
Five.
Okay. I want to put this somewhere where I'm not going to be...
Oh,
we're recording.
We are.
Yes, but why is there no waveform?
I don't know. Why is there...
We're not recording it with the right... Go ahead and stop it.
Oh, that's right. We're not. Because I didn't go back up into edit preferences. Hardware. Default input is Flying Scarlet. Default output is speakers, right?
Yeah.
Master clock, output, blah blah blah. I think all that's
Yeah,
right.
that seems fine. Testing. Yep, there we go.
Okay.
Here we are.
Waveforms present.
Yes.
You'll have to look at the video to figure out what that means.
Well, we didn't. Are we high enough on our game? Doesn't look like.
Yeah, we're coming in at like 9.
Let's get it up.
6. Fine. You can turn up yours.
Here's a test. Hello. That's better.
Okay. Am
All
I
right.
still there?
Yeah, you're perfect. You're perfect.
Well.
Oh.
Spiked.
Okay, we'll turn you down a little.
Yeah, I'm a little hot.
I've heard.
Hey, episode 43.
43.
Who would have thunk we would have gotten here?
This is really episode 42. Really, I mean.
Well, yes.
Because the RadCon episode was
41.5.
41.5 or 42.5.
So this is
43. Yeah, no, you're right. 41.5. 41.5.
Okay.
I can't math at night.
Wow. I did math.
I know.
I did more math than you did math.
It is 12:30. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Turn off my phone too.
Thank you for turning off your phone. So last week, you may have tuned in to our RadCon. Shh, let it go. You may have tuned into our RadCon live show. Sorry, I guess. Show. Yeah, we didn't air quotes. It was. We wasted all of our good stuff on panels. Is what happened. We were nailing the panels.
Well, they held it in the panels and then our personal discussions.
Yeah.
Before we got to the podcast.
Also, it was 3 p.m. a day after a very hard night of drinking. So we were muddy, I guess.
Yeah, muddy's a good word.
We were muddy, and
although Laura Adams said that it was very enjoyable and she wouldn't have really laughed if she didn't think it was funny. So
thanks, Laura. I appreciate it.
You're the only reason we posted it.
Actually, kind of, yeah. Kind of true.
So if nobody else likes it, it's all Laura's fault. Don't let us.
Yeah, don't just direct everything at Laura.
Yes. Bus,
all your
under,
hate mails. So, jeez, you're still going off about that. How?
Yep.
Is it going to be until next Super Bowl? Are you going to be talking about how the Seahawks won the Super Bowl up until the next one?
You betcha.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, one of the guys in the show is a 49ers fan. It's awesome to go and talk to him.
Oh, man.
Bobby Danger, if you're listening.
Did what? No.
Yeah, that's what we call him, Bobby Danger.
Yeah, but you just shooter quoted.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Not cool with that, man.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for sucking the bullets, your imaginary air bullets, back into your little air gun.
Yep.
All right. It's good enough for me. Anyway, so we should start talking a little bit kind of about what we were doing this week. I have...
Recovering?
Yeah, recovering. Mostly. We both saw movies. That was kind of cool. I saw the Lego movie.
Oh, how was it?
Awesome.
Really?
Totally awesome.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to... so we are doing a video cast, but I'm going to have to turn my mic a little bit. So I'm sorry for anyone. Or also, you're welcome for not being able to see my face, but I can't do this sideways thing anymore. So yeah, the Lego movie was awesome. Chris Pratt was the protagonist, which Parks and Rec, he plays Andy.
Oh, awesome.
And tons of people, like, just tons and tons of celebrities. Like, it's almost more fun to not know and to go in and try to pick out all of the famous voices you hear.
Oh, cool.
There are lots.
I will do that then.
Yeah, it's
no spoilers.
And I didn't think, like, I went in thinking, okay, it's been overhyped.
Yeah.
It's been way overhyped. And right out of the gate, there's a joke that floored me.
Sweet.
Just right out of the gate.
Because I think on this very podcast, we both said Lego Movie.
Yeah, I believe we did. And then saw some good previews. Big good preview. But let's talk about the movie you saw real quick.
Wolf of Wall Street, which was an amazing 3-hour joyride. Thank you, Martin Scorsese. Not only was... Although I guess Brophy said... Tom Brophy and I went to celebrate Tom's birthday, which was earlier. I'm not going to tell you when it was. But he said that Scorsese and the film's been taking a lot of heat because it seems to glorify this...
America?
It glorifies America, but it also glorifies the penny stock,
right.
I'm getting away with things, and
right.
the objectification of women, and, snorting blow off their asses and all this stuff. But
in fairness, those guys objectify everything.
Well, they objectify everything, and B, it was the 80s.
There's a kind of an issue with sociopathy, and that is everyone but yourself is an object. Everyone. We are objects to those people. So objectification kind of comes with the course.
Right.
And yes, it's the 80s, and it's a historical piece, and there's a lot of forgiveness for telling that story, and my understanding is you don't leave feeling like, oh, I want to emulate this behavior.
No, in fact, I have not laughed out loud in the audience of a movie in a long time. Matthew McConaughey is fucking brilliant. Oh my fucking god.
Also, apparently we have to start watching True Detective.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's a must, apparently.
Okay.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
And number 2, I have never heard a collective audience gasp. There is a brutal moment where everyone, and it was, I don't know what it was, if it was the late night, if it was a Saturday night, but that crowd was humming. And there was one moment where everyone, it's a brutal moment. I can't even believe they put it on film.
Like that scene in Showgirls?
You mean the whole movie?
Well, okay.
I'm not sure I remember which scene.
I can't argue that. The scene where they did to someone in the movie... It was a very... So Lisa Turtle... No, it wasn't Lisa Turtle. Was it the girl from Clueless? I blocked that movie out. There was someone from Saved by the Bell, right?
I think so.
Jessie Seppa. The girl who played Jessie Seppa.
Okay.
In Saved by the Bell. Curly hair, taller.
Yeah.
I think she was the main character,
It's not Jessica Alba, it's the other one.
Sure. Anyway, but she was the main character, right? And then she had a black friend. That friend went to a hotel room and something very bad happened to her. And it was horrible.
Oh, no.
It was awful. Along those lines.
I can't remember that, but there was 5 minutes of Leonardo DiCaprio doing some of the gutsiest acting I've ever seen and knowing he's going to be vilified for it.
Right.
But he's playing a character.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
it is just, the whole film is just, it's Scorsese.
Yeah. Back and to the left. I gotcha.
Yeah.
So, I want to create a movie about Leonardo DiCaprio not winning an Oscar, and I want to cast the guy who's playing Harry Osborn from the new Spider-Man movies. Like the brand new ones with Garfield as Spider-Man.
Right.
I forget the guy's name. And yes, I have a computer, but no, I'm not going to look it up because that's cheating. Anyway, so he looks quite a bit like Leo. So I want to cast him as Leo in a life story where Leo doesn't win an Oscar, and I want him to win an Oscar for it.
I will say this is the best thing Leonardo...
There's already
arguably
buzz. There's lots of buzz for it.
Has been done.
Yeah, there's lots of buzz. And I've heard Jonah Hill is really awesome in it, too.
And I really hope they're fake teeth that he has, because they call it
are
out specifically.
fake teeth.
But they are
creepy.
amazing.
They are creepy as shit.
And they call it out right in the script.
Yeah.
He has and he's got these weird bleached out super white teeth, and yeah.
Yeah, they're fake and they're creepy. And apparently you see his wang and that's fake as well.
It's obviously fake.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, no offense, Jonah. It's obviously fake, and it's like mere milliseconds.
Yeah, there's a big thing going on with fake dicks in Hollywood. Like, nobody wants to show their real dick. They always get these like big fake rubber ones.
Oh, I can't wait to tell you about a show offer I got.
Okay, cool.
Remind me later.
Is it Equus?
No.
Okay, well, so
though I am Sagittarius.
Gross. With the shooting again. No more shooter quotes. Dude.
What's wrong with shooter quotes?
See, this is what happens when you watch a movie set in the 80s with people from Wall Street. You end up doing shooter quotes.
I don't think anyone in the movie did a shooter quote.
Doesn't matter. It makes you feel it inside. You feel the need.
Oh, it felt 80s. I was feeling Miami Vice all over the screen.
We're going to the live stream real quick for a quick comment. Yeti Sarge says, not sure if drunk or just really, really tired. Can it be both? I think it was both. For why we were so lethargic, or maybe even are lethargic tonight.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is he talking about tonight, or is he
Doesn't
talking
matter,
about
does it?
Whoa!
Does it really matter? I saved it, by the way. He did.
We did.
Dropped it.
I bought... There it is. Remember, I bought this thing specifically.
Oh, hey, we have a stand for our little tablet. Cool.
Oh, no.
Is that a music stand? Whatever. If I put it up, it'll work fine. So the other thing I wanted to talk about regarding movies this week, I'm going
to show everyone my difficulty in figuring out this music stand.
So apparently Scott didn't go to public school. You totally went to public school, didn't you?
Yes.
What is your... All three of them. There you go.
There we go.
Yeah. Scott just broke the music stand.
You were saying?
Anyway, Guardians of the Galaxy, the trailer hit last week.
That's
fairly awesome looking. I'm sorry.
That's not the owl one.
Owl,
right?
Like Watchmen?
Guardians? No.
The Ga'Hoole. That's Guardians: The Legends of the Owls of Ga'Hoole.
Right. Okay.
And that was good. I'm sorry. I liked it.
I haven't watched it yet. I want to because I like owls.
Wait, what's the shittiest phrase that douchebags say? Sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry, bro. YOLO. YOLO, YOLO.
Oh, fuck you and YOLO.
YOLO, sorry, not sorry. Anyway, so
Who pisted your Cheerios today?
I did.
Oh, okay.
How do you make Cheerios?
We're almost there.
How do you make Cheerios?
I don't. I like Kellogg's.
Oh, boy. No General Mills for you. You know, Kellogg's was started by a complete psycho, right? Who wanted to keep people from
this
having...
is not in frame.
Yeah, who cares? Kellogg's was started by a psycho who wanted to keep people from having sexual urges by making them eat boring foods.
Kellogg's?
Yes.
Road
to Wellsville.
Anthony Hopkins.
Road to Wellsville, yeah. And, was it John Cusack? No, it was...
I'm not going to do it.
You did, though.
No,
you did do it. You made the sound. Well, I don't think you...
But it wasn't followed with gestures at the same time. It just went...
Oh, well, you weren't riding a horse. So... Because Jonah Hill's not here.
No.
And his big fake dick.
Wasn't that big.
Wasn't that fake? It's funny.
It was about like Mark Wahlberg's in Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights? So it looked like a kickstand?
It's not really...
Well, it's the idea is that it's flaccid and it gets bigger. I mean, he was supposed to be like John Holmes.
Yeah.
But John Holmes was not like a gigantic spaghetti noodle.
No.
It was...
Not that I know.
Thunderous.
Yes.
You've heard?
I've heard.
Dude, his dick was so big, even if you haven't seen porn, you've seen it. It extended that far. Like, anywhere in LA, you can always see John Holmes' dick.
I thought that was...
It's like the Great Wall. It is now.
How far can we extend the dick joke?
About 33% from what I understand.
Oh, okay.
On average.
On average.
Depends on how wrinkly the joke is to begin with. So, dick jokes aside, let's talk about Guardians of the Galaxy, which has nothing to do with
Please get back to Guardians.
nothing to do with owls. So James Gunn, one of my favorite directors.
Oh, yes.
He did Slither. He did the specials. He wrote
PG porn.
Yeah, PG porn. He wrote the what was it, Lolly Love? Yeah, Lolly Love. He wrote the script for Scooby-Doo, the awesome good script that they then butchered to make it kid friendly. He's just one of my favorites. Big time Trauma guy, like does stuff with Trauma, so he's really good friends with Jane Jensen, who put out the album Comic Book Horror and played Juliet in Romeo and Juliet. Really cool cat. They're actually recording again, which is awesome. So a little taste of the 90s for you today.
Cool.
Good. It's the best tasting decade. Well, maybe the 60s, but
it smells like Teen Spirit,
but
it doesn't taste like it.
You got to be careful licking the 60s.
Yeah.
You might end up licking the brown 60s. I tried to make an acid joke, but it sounds like poop.
Yeah, it certainly does.
And at Woodstock, it could have been either.
Yeah.
And most of that mud wasn't
mud. Sewage. It's New York.
Hey. Does it really count as New York? It's a cow pasture.
Not really.
Not anymore, anyway.
No.
It's more Canada, almost.
So, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Which was it started out as a obscure 60s comic.
Yes, because I've never heard of it. Except when
right. So, an obscure 60s comic that kind of evolved over time. It had a lot of anti-heroes, a lot of heroes turn villain, turn hero, villain turn hero, like all sorts of weird tropes about how you've got a mercenary who isn't a villain, isn't a hero. She's actually like Thanos' daughter. That's Zoe Saldana's character in the new. So it's crazy. Chris Pratt also lead
Thanos.
The Hands of Fate. No, Thanos.
It's Manos.
I know what it is.
I know.
The master told me. So Thanos. If you've watched the Avengers.
Yeah.
Before the shawarma cut, there's another secret ending. The dude with the big purple chin.
Yeah. Okay.
Like kind of Jay Leno, but with like anti-jaundice.
But more evil.
Right. So like kind of autoerotic asphyxiation purple.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's Thanos.
Okay.
Not as much of a looker, but apparently someone liked him. Had a daughter. She's green because he's purple.
When's he coming back? I thought he was going to be part of the other thing, but he wasn't.
No, well, I mean, who knows? Maybe he's in Guardians. I know that Benicio is back in Guardians. If you saw the end of Thor 2, you'll know why that's cool. Did you see the end of Thor 2? Did you watch Thor 2?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
After the credits in Thor 2?
Yes.
Benicio?
He has the
Collector?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in Guardians, because that's...
that's right.
That's
Guardians is live action.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
I keep thinking it's a cartoon.
It's... What's your definition of cartoon? Because it might still be.
Animated.
Then yes, it's a cartoon. It is probably well over 50% CGI. So...
Well, okay.
This is what I'm getting at. This is a interesting topic. It's very interesting.
This is what I deal with all
because at what point is it an animated feature versus
when it's a cartoon? When there's a real person there at any point, other than rotoscoping with that Keanu Reeves thing, I would have to say, even if it's CGI, it's not animated unless it's 100% CGI.
So you're saying that those all okay?
Roger Rabbit, not animated.
Okay. So that's Roger Rabbit, not animated. Those old Looney Tunes, not animated, where the people would show up in them. Like they have the old Looney Tunes, the old Betty Boop or whatever, where a real live actor would show up and do stuff. But it was a cartoon according to the banner. Like Merry Melodies had it, and then they'd have like a real animator would like grab the guy off the page or whatever. So those aren't cartoons then. Or are those cartoons because the main character is the cartoon, but then Roger Rabbit would fall into that as well. So this gets...
No, because Roger Rabbit was
We really need some pot.
Because then there's that Brad Pitt one.
Cool World? Oh, God.
Cool World.
Oh,
which was real and then not real or something.
Or
was it all animated?
I think I just had an aneurysm. No, it wasn't all... Okay. Brad Pitt wasn't animated. And most of the... So the Real World... No, it was mixed.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I think there's animated, which if it starts off previously as a cartoon, like if they did Shrek and then all of a sudden put somebody, real world people in it, I would still say it's an animated feature.
Have you seen the Netflix? There's like a Shrek Live or a Shrek on Ice or something, and it is the creepiest looking thing I've ever seen.
Yes, it is the Disney Ice version of Shrek.
Which is weird because that's DreamWorks. Oh, Shrek'scapades! That's we released a Shrek'scape. Oh, that's horrible.
We should get that domain name.
We should Shrek'scape or Shrek'scapades? Shrek'scapades.
Both.
Yeah, we should.
We have a Shrek tape on the Shrek'scapades.
Somehow it's still starring Kim Kardashian. Sorry.
God.
One wants to wipe out the Bajorans, the other one just wants a big black dick.
NBA players.
Yeah.
I think that's the Kardashian.
Yeah.
That we're referring to. But I don't know. There's a whole brood of them.
Hey, man, I'm not going to give her too much shit. I'm going to give her a little more shit. But I'm not going to give her too much shit because she's out right now, like, using... She knows her fame is fake. Right? She's famous because her dad is a lawyer.
Oh, that's right.
OJ's lawyer.
Right. Oh, that's the fame?
I'm pretty sure. I'll have to double check. Seth. Now I did it. I didn't do the guns. Oh, I feel like a shit. So.
You're hiding behind your mud shield, so it's
I certainly am. So, what was I saying? So she's out against body shaming. That's her big thing.
Totally hidden by the mud shield.
I totally
she's out about body shaming?
Yeah, she's out doing some crusading against body shaming.
Oh, okay. You mean a really skinny, attractive plastic surgeon?
I mean, that's her thing. Though that's her thing is like she knows that she had to pay to look like society wanted her to look.
Okay.
And so that's like she's using it like
okay.
And I'm not totally, I mean, she's still. I don't know. I don't really care. That's the problem.
No, but I mean, I would rather have Melissa McCarthy come out.
Melissa McCarthy
because she's awesome and is anti-stereotypical Hollywood. And she can go, look at me, and I'm famous and have fans, and there's nothing wrong with this.
And her sister is so the opposite. Her sister is so completely Hollywood cookie cutter.
I think she's even had more face work done. Didn't we see her commercial at Radcon?
Man, couldn't they link plastic surgery to autism? Because then she wouldn't do it.
Oh, that would be great.
Jesus.
She's more Joan Rivers than Joan Rivers. I already said that. I made that joke twice. That's bad form. She just dropped it.
Joan Rivers always cracked me up because she's just this catty, fucking horrible human being.
Yes.
Who makes fun of people when she herself is one step away from the Crypt Keeper.
Oh, yeah.
Due to... And she would have aged fine. She would have aged fine. She had that sort of Carol Burnett look to her. She would have aged just fine. And no, had to go under the knife to scrape 5 more years out. But then you pay for it on the other end.
Oh, God,
It comes at a price.
Yep.
Just like magic.
Boy, howdy.
Yeah.
So do I.
So, Tiffany, going back to the live stream, yes, if you were paying attention... I said I was going to hide my face with the mud shield because I can't talk sideways to Scott, and right now we don't have a place to set up the camera in a way that's going to catch us both easily.
It doesn't have a...
It's a GoPro, and
screw-on thing. Right?
No, we may switch cameras actually to like either the 5D at some point.
You know what we should do? Get 2 GoPros with chest harnesses.
So we're looking at it. Oh boy, no.
Hey,
no.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe.
Helmet cam. Could be on my helmet looking at you, and they just see from our perspective. So I'll be looking at the wall most of the time, and then look to you. They'll see you, and then
no! Let's go nuts. Let's do the infrared green night cam, like we're hunting yetis.
Yes.
Or ghosts.
Or predator.
Or any other bullshit.
I can't make the predator noise.
That was almost Chewbacca.
It was.
That was good. I like that. That's a win. Anyway. What were we doing? We were talking about Guardians, man, and
we were talking about Guardians,
so
and Thanos, and
go watch.
Wow, I'm actually remembering this.
I know, this is amazing. Yes, Thanos. We were talking about how, and then I was talking about how the characters evolved. Like Rocket Raccoon didn't show up for a while. He was added later with Groot, his like house / friend / Groot.
Rocket Raccoon and Groot.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, yet Wonder Woman is too far-fetched to support the movie, right?
Apparently.
No, you can't do that.
Bring Linda Carter back.
Please. Oh my god, dude. That's the thing, is I
Amazing.
would watch a Linda Carter Wonder Woman right now.
Yep.
Like, she filmed...
Not a rerun.
No.
Brand new film.
Did you ever see...
Sorry if my stubble is bothering people.
Oh my god. Did you ever see... Fuck, what was the name of that? It was a movie, Sky High. Superhero movie.
Yes.
Like, high school...
The little kids.
Linda Carter was the principal. Oh my god, she was just knockout.
I need to...
She was wonderful, yeah.
Linda
And the
Carter
whole movie
first.
was great. And at the end, if you look really quickly, Tom Kenny and his wife, I'm sorry, I forget her name.
Who's Tom Kenny?
The voice of SpongeBob SquarePants. He was also on Mr. Show, and he is he does the voice of SpongeBob, and then she does voices, and they were both in the show together. They're both very funny. They're in Run Ronnie Run, which makes sense because it's a Mr. Show continuation project. Right. Very funny people, and they are the homeowners at the end of Sky High.
Oh,
kind of funny.
Very cool.
So, I know what I don't want to talk about.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about Shia LaBeouf.
Wasn't even thinking of bringing him up.
Okay. Well, let's not do that then. Though I still want to see
Shy
that.
beef?
Shy beef.
Is that what it stands for?
Yeah. It is. It's the beef.
Yeah.
It's Shia the beef.
Awesome.
So, Tiffany on the live stream suggests that I put a photo of myself on the back of the windshield. That is a good thinking. I'm not going to do it. Don't have time. Good thinking. So yeah, Guardians, definitely want to see it.
Mm-hmm.
High on my list. I do have other topics to talk about.
I certainly hope so, because
we've nailed it. Yeah.
Done about 15 minutes of Guardians now,
and it deserves.
They should pay us.
Deserves every minute of it.
I'm sure that it does.
Yeah.
The one that I liked for the previews, Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Kind of looking forward to that.
Wait, I thought Rise of the Planet of the Apes was already done.
Sorry, Dawn of the Planet.
Okay.
Dawn, Rise? I don't know.
It's a sequel. It's a sequel to the Franco one.
Yes.
Which was good.
Yeah.
Whereas,
that was a good one.
Whereas the Marky Mark and the Monkey Bunch was not great.
No. Well, that was Tim Burton. That was his fault. I don't think it was Marky Mark's fault.
No.
I think it was Tim's
fault.
fault.
It was just a bad reboot.
Yeah.
And is that a reboot or a remake?
I would say remake.
Yeah, that's a remake. It's like the new Spider-Man's a reboot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the one that's coming out? Terminal. Johnny Depp looks kind of like Johnny Mnemonic, but it's not.
Don't know.
It looks really interesting.
I need to get my trailers on.
That was a huge selling point, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I can't remember the name of it. But
it
got Johnny Depp, and it looks
Johnny
really
Depp looks good.
Oh, you know what I'm liking right now?
What's that?
House of Cards.
Mm.
Oh my fucking god!
That's what I was. So I was going to tell you about what True Detective was.
Okay.
Matthew McConaughey, Woody Harrelson, based loosely on The King in Yellow, which is a book of
Kurosawa?
No.
Okay.
It's not. He isn't George Lucas. It's a book of literary works about a play that cannot be shown because it will drive you mad. It inspired a lot of Lovecraft.
Oh.
Yeah. So anyway, True Detective, heavily pulling from that. The book is free on Amazon. Last I checked. For your Kindle.
Where is this True Detective found at?
That I don't know yet because I have not had a single chance to sit down and watch any TV in the last 2 weeks. Nothing. And I quit Facebook, and I still don't have the ability to. And if you guys are wondering why I'm not on Facebook, I quit. Yeah.
The FBI did not take it down.
I'm tweetering now. I'm tweetling.
Twitting?
Twiddly dummy.
Twiddly dummy, yes. Which I don't do, so it's a good. You can do the Two Bards twiddly dumming, and I'll do the Two Bards Facebooking every once in a while when I remember.
So you can follow me at Occam's Monkey, OCCAMSMONKEY. the simplest monkey is most likely the correct monkey. Yeah, it's that kind of joke. Dude, I have problems. I dream punned last night. This isn't a joke. Well, I mean, it was a joke, but it was my joke. Like, and in your dreams, you know how like nothing actually makes sense. Like, there's no.
Yes.
So at one point, there's this old lady, kind of Agatha Christie looking, and someone comes up and asks her if her hat is a bonnet, and she says, "Not even close." I did a hat pun in my dream. This is not a joke. I
don't know what a cloche is. I'm guessing it's a hat.
It's a hat. It's like kind of a 20s, 30s. Like it looks like it actually looks like a British artillery helmet, but with a little band around it and a bow.
Oh yeah. Felt.
You felt, yes. So that's a cloche.
It's not a snood.
You can't say that. That's their word.
I can.
Okay.
It's that little crocheted basket.
Oh, right.
With their hair in.
Right.
I discovered that a long time ago at a Renaissance fair. I was like, wow, what an airy beret. Well, because I thought it went all the way on and it was very loose.
I just wish I had a Jewish French lawyer named Airy Beret, is what I'm wishing right now in my heart.
I'm sure you are.
So, Yeti Sarge brings up the line from the Guardians of the Galaxy. If you were watching the trailer, you noticed that...
I've never seen it.
Oh. So, John C. Reilly's in it. And
awesome.
Standing behind John C. Reilly... Standing behind... John... No. They can't be in the same room at the same time anymore. Not after Talladega. No, standing... I guess Step Brothers. Whatever.
Yeah.
Standing behind him is Peter Serafinowicz.
Easy for you to say.
Not really. You don't know who Peter Serafinowicz is? You do. You just don't know you know.
Okay.
Seen Shaun of the Dead?
Yes.
The roommate Pete. He also does probably the best Alan Alda impression I've ever heard.
He's the one from Black Books. Or
no.
Dark Books, or...
No, Black Books is... So that's Bill Bailey is the guy with the missing hair. And then the main character from Black Books is the guy who played Dave in Shaun of the Dead.
Okay, but at least he's in Shaun of the Dead.
He is in Shaun of the Dead.
Okay, I don't remember the roommate.
He's
the
also
stoner roommate.
Run, Fat Boy, Run. No, not the stoner roommate. That was...
that other guy.
Frost. Nick Frost.
No. I didn't mean Nick. I meant the other...
He wasn't a stoner.
Then I don't.
Yeah, he was the guy who was about the business. He's like, you know what fucking day it is?
Oh!
Saturday. No, it's not. It's fucking Sunday.
Yes, and he always looks angry.
He always looks angry.
Like he's a muscled, tie-wearing dude. Okay,
so
I know
that's
exactly who you're...
Peter Serafinowicz.
Okay.
So he is standing... He's standing behind...
John C.
Reilly, and he says the line at the end of the trailer, which people laugh at, is like, what a bunch of a-holes. Funny stuff. Watch the trailer. You've got to watch the trailer. Just the trailer, though. I'm not watching anything else about this movie. Okay. I want everything else to be kind of on hold. But, the trailer.
He says, what a bunch of a-holes. And that's funny?
It is in context.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Chris Pratt is... So, the character he plays is an alien...
Captain A?
No.
Okay.
He's an alien-human hybrid with a bad attitude.
Yes,
and he flips
not Captain A.
He flips them off, like... he knows he's being scanned by, like, this system.
Okay.
And so it, like...
registers. Okay.
So anyway, that
not
happened.
To you guys. I was demonstrating Andy.
So we are flipping off our live stream in demonstration.
Yes.
We have more.
We're not demonstrating against the live stream. We're demonstrating for the live stream.
So Brian Lewis. Don't know. I've never heard of this guy.
Lewis is on.
Lewis is on. I have a question. If you self-proclaim that your show's content is fueled by the listeners' questions, why do you shit on the questions that people provide for you so much?
We don't shit on the questions.
You can choose not to say this on air. Well, I didn't.
Oh, well, we didn't read that far.
Yeah, we don't shit on the questions.
We would...
If you're talking about
Mr. Schmidt, if you're talking in reference to my diatribe against your wife's 7 questions the other podcast, and then her also writing in live, I felt that she had exhausted her quota for the day. We love all of her questions and are enamored by them because they're sophisticated. But at some point, we need to let others have a voice. So it's not really shitting on them. It's just cajoling. Is that an appropriate word?
I don't think so. I don't think that word means anything. It's banter, Brian.
Banter fodder. No,
banter.
Bantha fodder.
Bantha fodder. It works. It works in context.
But we do kind of shit on you for calling in last year at SpoCon.
We did.
Well, we don't. We don't. It's
both fun, but you can totally call in whenever we. Yeah.
But it's why we turn off our phones, because we forgot at SpoCon, and we love you for calling in.
Yep. Hate you for this though.
Bad question. Bad question.
Jeez. Remind me next time you go into an interview to come in and just, I don't know, shit on the boss's desk. Shit on Deborah's desk. No?
You were messing?
No, not.
We're making it. No,
oh, gross. You're not a Lonely Island fan, I think. Lonely Island.
I don't know what that is.
My mouth is not working very well tonight.
No, not really.
Oh, sad for you.
Need a kiss?
No.
Okay.
Not at all. Not one.
So we did that once and we passed out.
I know, it's true. The Lonely Island is Andy Samberg's band from like all the Saturday Night Live shorts. They actually did the major song in Lego Movie.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, it was them and Tegan and Sarah.
Okay.
The Walking with Your Ghost band.
Isn't Tegan and Sarah from here?
I don't know. Sleater Kenny's from here. I don't know about Tegan and Sarah. Probably, maybe. Portland? Okay. They sound like a Portland band.
No, could be.
But they do the I was walking with your ghost.
Nope.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, so Lonely Island, awesome. They made that album Terabad, which led to the word Terabad, which is one of my all-time favorite words. It's both terrible and bad.
Okay, I thought they were talking about like terra firma.
It might have been.
Earth bad.
Earth bad.
Sounds like a comic character.
So I want to remind you guys really quickly to, if you haven't, go check out the Northwest Nerdcast.
Yes.
Who we are going to be very soon, I believe. I talked to Ron from the cast a bit.
Okay.
We are going to be going to their podcast. They will be coming onto our podcast.
I need to clean up the studio then.
Yes. Yeah. Because there's a girl.
You I don't care about, but...
And there's also Will, and you know Will would freak out.
Yeah, he would.
He'd flappy hands it.
Are we going to have all four of them in here?
I don't know. I don't know what's going to be. If it's going to be just a couple of them, or if it's going to be all four.
We should make a Rochambeau for it.
So we'll have Chloe.
Not Ron, because then we won't get a word in edgewise. We should get Mike.
No, I like Ron. I want Ron to come on. No words.
Did I say I didn't like Ron?
Hey, don't shit on Ron.
I just said that we're not going to get a word in edgewise because he's got the radio voice.
He does have the and the radio training. Don't forget the radio training.
That's true. Although I will say this. No, I didn't say that, but I agree.
Any school you can get an herbology degree for growing your own pot? I don't know, man. You get a religious studies degree if you're Wiccan.
Yeah.
Like you can't go into any other college and get a religious studies degree for being a religion.
No.
Like
SPSCC.
Or not a degree, sorry, a credit. But
potato gun wars.
But you can't. You can't be like, well, I don't. I want a credit in. in Christian theology because I'm Christian. No, you're not going to get that. But at Evergreen, and this was back in the 90s, you could get for being Wiccan, you could get a credit in religious studies.
Huh. Can't wait till Laura writes in. I'm going to pull up the other questions on the screen just so that we can see them and be reminded.
Do that. So yeah, check out Northwest Nerdcast. It's nwnerdcast.com. They are also going to, sounds like, be bringing Connor Marks on to demo R9E.
Nice.
So yeah, Romance of the Nine Empires is going to go on with Connor on the Nerdcast once I get them kind of
connected. Put together,
yeah.
So did we kind of talked about RadCon.
We did talk about RadCon.
There would be other questions about RadCon, though, in the thing.
Yeah.
So we'll just save RadCon stories for that.
Yeah. The only other thing I was going to talk about is if you're a developer, quit making Flappy Bird knockoffs. Stop it.
I really need to download one.
No,
so
you
I can
don't.
I just want to see what it's about. I want to see what all the fuss is.
It's...
Are there YouTube videos so I don't need to...
Yeah, there are. There are plenty of YouTube videos.
Okay,
but it's
great.
just... It's like there are... I went on to my tablet's store today, and the top 20 apps, I think 16 were Flappy Bird knockoffs. Because the guy who made it quit.
Yeah.
He was making $50,000 a day. $50,000.
We need to make one of those apps.
Yeah, but you gotta be the first, or it doesn't work. Because now, like, they're completely polluted.
I didn't mean to knock off his. We just need to make an app where we
No, I know.
$50,000 a day.
Yeah, we do.
I would like that.
Yeah.
Then I would be the Wolf of Wall Street.
Just like a theft app. How about that? Take a penny, leave a penny. Only it never leaves. It just takes.
Perfect.
I like that.
How about little infinitesimal decimal points?
The Superman
of the
3.
bank?
The Superman 3 trick? Yeah, no.
No? Doesn't work?
It doesn't. No. And in fact, there are laws specifically against that very thing. Because that was the very first thing people did when they made online banking. So.
Damn them for not letting us be first.
So Laura Adams did respond saying, "I am not a Wiccan."
Oh.
And
You just play one on TV.
No, she plays a witch. She's a witch.
Not getting into this argument.
She's a red witch, too.
Bait me all you want.
Not on camera.
No.
Hoo-hoo. All right, let's get some questions.
Okay. From way back when, and my sincerest apologies to Paula Moran and Chris Piazzo for not seeing your posted questions when we were at RadCon. But I will take them in order. Chris Piazzo wrote in a long time ago, I believe February 9th, "What is your apocalypse of choice and why? Examples may include zombie, global warming / flooding, another ice age, meteor strikes Earth, etc."
Oh, mine's got to be the Burgess Meredith, everyone just disappears apocalypse.
Speaking of which, have you ever seen the movie The Quiet Earth?
No.
You should.
Okay.
It's about the last man on Earth. He wakes up one morning, and he's it. It's pretty kind of awesome.
Yeah, those are good ones. Another apocalypse, I like personal apocalypses a lot. So there's like the one where you're phased out of time by a slight amount. So you see the world being interacted with, but you don't live on the same plane as any of the living things on the Earth.
So you're like a ghost.
Kinda.
Ish.
Yeah. Don't know how, I mean, there's a lot of holes in that, like how do you eat? How do you even breathe? The air's not phased, all that stuff. That's a good one. Other personal apocalypse movies are, like the sort of I Am Legend-y sort of thing, where it's just one person until you find out it's not. Not a big fan of the zombie apocalypse thing. Just kind of boring.
Yeah, I'm more of the meteor strikes Earth kind of apocalypse that you're just.
I like The Stand. Let's go with The Stand. I like the Pandemic.
I don't think he's talking about movies though.
No, but that is a type of apocalypse. The Stand, like the Pandemic apocalypse.
Oh,
99.998 fatality rate.
Yeah. I can't remember
Captain
what The
Trips.
Stand was about.
Yeah.
I watch movies and then I
It was
move on.
about Gary Sinise and Dauber from Coach. I guess it was about, that would have been, who am I thinking of? Robert Downey Jr. No, the other one.
Morton Downey?
Not more. Oh, God, no. What? No. I always wondered if they were related, but
Yeah.
I'm really glad they're not. No, Parks and Rec, Wayne's World, bad guy in Wayne's World. My mind's just drawing a blank right now.
Nick Offerman? Rob
Wayne's
Lowe?
World? Rob Lowe. It would have been Rob Lowe and Dauber from Coach. Because those are the two that actually palled around. Rob Lowe played Nick, the deaf guy in the Stand TV show. And the guy who played Dauber, whose name... Oh, he was also in How I Met Your Mother. He's Marshall's dad, who died in the Countdown episode.
Oh, the bit, yes!
Yeah, he
big
played...
guy.
Yeah, he played the MOON, that spells moon, guy in the Stand.
Okay.
Mentally challenged, but not really. Like, at least in the book.
Like Lenny.
Well, no, that's just it. Is in the book, he functioned fully normally, just at a very slow pace.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Like he
Like he was out of phase.
That's good. Good callback. Anyway, so yeah, pandemic. As long as I was immune to
See,
it.
this is my time. This is my time.
Yeah, this is good.
1:30 in the morning. My
1:30 yeah.
synapses be firing.
Well, you did wake up 3 hours ago.
That's
so,
true.
You know.
It is true. So yeah, I'll go with Meteor Strikes and then all of Andy's answers. And then Paula Moran writes in, thankfully, you missed my question at RadCon, so I'll ask it again. Thank you for correcting us or pointing it out. When preparing for a role as an actor, do you do a lot of research or just wing it? I should have pre-read this question. It's not funny. I just appreciate the humor because Wings are places where you wait to come on. Anyway.
I thought Wings was a really shitty band by Paul McCartney.
No, it was a TV show.
It was also a shitty band.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with me when it comes to Tony Shalhoub. I know Tony Shalhoub.
When it was just Wing It, and what was the Thomas Hayden Church, and what was the most difficult role you've ever? Oh, okay.
Thomas Hayden Church was in Specials too.
I got this.
Go for it because let me just go ahead and say that it's a great question. I'm not really in a place where I can answer it because I haven't had any roles that would require any kind of research. Most of mine have been improv heavy. So
You had to research Taking a Pop by Brian.
No, that just came really naturally.
Oh.
Yeah,
I have
that punchable face.
True. I think Brian would agree with me. I
Wow.
even got that wrong.
It's fine. It's fine. Just yeah.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to address all of these if I can find them on the screen again.
Do it.
When preparing for a role as an actor, do you do a lot of research? I have not done a lot of roles. I choose to find the character from within and do that. A case in point, one that I can quickly go to would be Lenny.
Okay.
From Mice and Men that I did with Brian and Christian and Emily Olsen and some other fine folks, but you'd only know those people. And I chose to make Lenny very mentally handicapped. MRDD, mentally retarded, developmentally disabled, I believe is... it was
Steinbeck
the term.
didn't choose that? You chose that?
Most people, if you look at it, he's played very slow.
Yeah.
But he's not... I went to another level because I felt that
he's
was
not like,
what's true to the character.
He's not like DiCaprio and Gilbert Grape. He's like...
Right. He's like stuck at 10 years old.
Yeah.
In a 30-year-old body or whatever. So I went to more of an extreme, and I had physical manifestations and all of these things, and we had some doctors that came and asked me, who did you study? And I said, nobody. I've just watched things like I Am Sam,
right.
And it's
What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
And What's Eating Gilbert Grape, and it's a character that I have always wanted to try to play. Mm-hmm. And so that for me was a challenge, but I didn't do research. Cuckoo's Nest, most of the roles I don't do research for, except for...
I'm just letting them know I'm going to answer these questions that are up, but we're working on the ones we already had. But your answers are coming if you're on the live stream soon.
Normally I don't wing it, although in improv we do. And and there have been some shows, frankly, where I've just wung it. Winged it, whatever.
You wanged it. You wanged
it. The most difficult role I've ever played is one that I actually did research for. And that would be Salieri and Amadeus.
I knew this one was coming.
2/3 of the script are Salieri's lines, and I went to a true Roman Catholic church service that's held once a month in Spanaway, Washington, where it is all in Latin, and the women all come in with the little napkin hats on their head, and the men are all in three-piece suits, and it is... I understood the pomp and circumstance that Salieri was going for and wanting to be the voice of God through music and being frustrated with Mozart. So that was a really long way to answer that question, but thanks for asking actor questions.
Quit jumping around.
Sorry.
Yeah, I wish I had any kind of... Now, writing, I do a lot of research. Mm-hmm. If I'm writing about something, I tend to really dive in. It's before I write about anything new, It's 2-3 days of Wikipedia following the actual blue links before you freak out. Okay, actual blue links on Wikipedia that take you to the citations. Go look up the citations, read the articles. If you can access the non-abstracts, read the actual articles and all that stuff. But yeah, when you write, you kind of have to really dive into the reality of what you're writing about before you can, like make clowns come out of sewer grates and shit.
Yeah.
Before that part, you have to really have that shit nailed in.
Yeah, and I would say like Flynn the Fine or Strong Like Bull, there was no research. Strong Like Bull, Matt Vansel and I did a lot of talking about backstory and sort of how it came to be and the history up until that point, which I guess could be considered research, but I've never really played a character that I didn't know intrinsically something about. And I find that if I find it for myself, I can always be true no matter what I'm saying, and therefore it's never false.
Right.
So it's always a true moment.
Right. Okay, so we have a couple of live stream things coming in.
Awesome.
First, Laura says that she is, in fact, that all Wiccans are witches, but not all witches are Wiccans.
Like squares are rectangles, but rectangles aren't squares?
Correct. Not all rectangles are squares.
Right, okay.
And she can't type because she has a cat in her face. I'm assuming it's black. Just going to make that assumption.
I was going to make another assumption.
Don't
stop there.
Don't do that. You met her husband? He's a nice guy.
He is. He's got awfully tasty spirits in flasks.
I bet he does.
Talk about apple.
Apple pie? He's the apple pie guy? Yeah. See, we had an apple pie guy in the SCA. I love that guy. He'd bring like huge, like I think it was a gigantic leather bladder of apple pie. And he would just get people shippers.
Yeah.
Brian Lewis says, in the past, Andy has had some opinions about how the LGBT community is represented in the media. Do you have some ideas on how they could be represented better? And are there examples of how people have been represented poorly? So, I think representing LGBT better is representing them as people, number one, not as a plot point. Super important. There are a few cases where I have seen LGBT characters on shows, and it's not the focus of their character. Their character is that, as well as a fleshed out character.
Right.
It can't just be... That can't be the only thing they are. And in so many of these shows, they try to make the LGBT side of them the only thing they are.
Right.
And that's not great.
No.
That happens a lot. I mean, that just happens a lot.
Yeah.
Look at even something as progressive as like 30 Rock. Paul, the boyfriend of Jenna toward the end.
I'm not caught up.
Oh, okay. Well, he's... I don't think he's transgender. I think he's just a cross-dresser. But that's all he is a cross-dressing deviant.
Okay. Orange is the New Black. Does a really good job in, I think. I mean, it is who the character is, but they do a really good job of the backstory and the fact that he was as a man and married and has a child and then found that this is really more of his calling. He's in the female prison, and they do a lot of flashbacks back and forth, and they don't treat her as a one-sided character. And the actor is transgender.
See,
so they've not put somebody who is wearing makeup. It's an actual transgendered person in the transgendered role. That to me is
that's great because
awesome.
Seriously, like casting, and I'm going to use industry or not industry. I'm going to use terms that a lot of white men hate, and I understand why you hate them because they've been thrown at you negatively usually. But I don't care.
I'm stepping away from the mic now.
So a lot of roles will cast CIS or cisgendered people. So cisgendered people are people who are born into the gender that they put forth. So they feel that they are the gender they are born. They cast a lot of CIS, or it's cisgender. You got to pronounce it, I guess. It's cisgendered as as transgender or as LGBT.
So making myself as a straight hetero male,
making you into either a female to male transsexual or a gay man or anything like
right.
that. It kind of is the new blackface. It's a little bit harder because you're not there's for actual female to male, male to female. I think that stands. You could make that comparison because there are physical attributes of transgendered people.
Yes.
That you have to fake.
Are very expensive to fake.
Well, you fake them, or you do the again, it all comes out to overemphasizing that part of them as and eliminating the human behind them and just talking about character.
Right, and I want to clarify really quickly. I didn't mean that money is everything. I just meant that for the cost of doing that,
just hire a transgender person.
Hire a transgender person.
Well, and it's
that was
better.
my point.
It's just better anyway because they're going to bring to the role. If a transgender person writes a transgendered character, okay, and is directing and is doing all that jazz, and they choose to hire a straight person to play that role, or I'm sorry, not straight, a non-transgendered person to play that role. If they choose to do that, they are going to know that they have the guidance to properly inform that role.
Right.
If a non-transgendered person is doing the same thing, you really need to try to fill that role with a transgendered person because they're going to bring realism to it that you're just not going to be able to get.
Right, but as not a devil's advocate, just as a point of reference, there's 50 million white straight guys.
Right.
And there are less...
There are more than that, but...
Yeah, there are less gay men in outwardly... I mean, like Will and Grace.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Jack 2000 is actually gay. Mm-hmm. But Will is not. He's married.
Well,
but because of...
We'll get into that discussion later. That doesn't mean...
You know what I meant.
Yeah.
I didn't say it right, but...
I know what you mean. He is a straight man who has shown himself to be straight.
But transgendered people, there are...
Even fewer.
Yes. And trying to find a good actor or actress to play that.
Is telling the story... Is getting the story out more important than... I just... It concerns me because it's something that I would have to think about. If I were to cast a transgender role... I would immediately think about the blackface thing.
Oh, no. I say if you can get...
I'd be interested to find out what transgendered people think about cisgendered people playing them. I'd be very interested to hear about that. And I unfortunately don't have any transgendered friends.
Yes, you do.
Do I?
Yep.
Huh. I'll have to think about that because I don't... Well, I don't... Okay. In my close friends, I don't have any transgendered friends. Dude, in my close friends...
Well,
I have like you, I have Brian, I have Aaron, I have Tiffany. I have like a few friends that I talk to on a day-to-day basis. Well, and I used to have a really good transgendered friend, but he kind of cut ties with everybody at high school because they were all complete hyper dicks to him. He was interesting because he identified female but wanted to be called he. Right? This is very weird. But whatever. It's what he wanted.
Was he publicly as a female but wanted to be referred to as he, or was he outwardly?
He was outward. So he was born male.
Right.
Okay. He changed his name to Data Bellinger.
Okay.
And now let's exit. Let's. This is going to be one that we edit. Let's edit that. So get your time. I'm sorry. It's just...
Okay.
Though he's changed his name again, so I don't know if it matters too much, but anyway. So he changed his name to Data and expressed outwardly as female, but I think what it was, and there wasn't the thought of it at the time, I think he was asexual.
Okay.
I think he was asexual and he liked being feminine. But he preferred to be called he than she.
Right.
So it was an interesting... It was a really... And I missed the guy. I never got to really talk to him because the school just fucking destroyed him.
Yeah. I will plug this again only because I really like the show and I may get lambasted for it. But there's a Canadian show called Lost Girl.
Okay.
And the main character is a succubus.
Okay.
Although doesn't visit people in their dreams. It's a show premise of light fae versus dark fae.
Gotcha.
Not necessarily versus, but they inhabit the world. And because she's a succubus, she is bisexual.
Okay.
And it's not played up for any sort of hype or ratings or anything. It just naturally happens.
It just is.
And when you think she's going to have the male-dominated relationship, it switches into a long-running female relationship.
Right.
And it's not sensationalized. And I was just like, wow, this is refreshing to watch.
Yeah.
That it's not, I'm going to bring in this character who is going to seduce you and become your lover.
Right.
No, it just naturally went that way.
Yeah, I think it's super important for non-transgendered people to think about this stuff. But when it comes to actually answering the question, the real answer is what we think isn't as important as what the people it would be affecting think.
Yeah, the community.
Ultimately. Like, because you can say, like, well, you're so thin-skinned. What's it? You know, like, there are a number of changes I've made in my life. The two real biggies are the R word. I have tried my damnedest to stop saying it because I don't feel that the fact that I don't apply it in the way that is I feel offensive doesn't fucking matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter how I intend it. What matters is how it affects other people.
Right.
And so I've tried very hard to stop saying that because it's a fucking... I couldn't even imagine what it would feel like inside, you know, to have someone say that.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is that's the big problem anybody has about this, is you can be empathetic, but ultimately, unless you are that thing, you can't truly imagine what it's like to be that type of person.
Yeah.
You know? Or in the case of furries, animal, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, that's another thing actually I've really come around on. I used to be pretty anti-furry because I felt like if you can't be in touch with the fact that you are a human, you've got a problem. And I realized that is just as stupid as saying if you don't, you know, if you have a dick and don't feel male, you have a problem, ultimately. It's just how you are. Yeah. And so I came around on that.
I appreciate you coming around on the C word.
Yeah.
No longer referring to me as Canadian. I'm a Canadian
That's a tough
American.
one. That's a tough one, especially after the Olympics, buddy. Good job, by the way.
Thank you. Our women's hockey team is just better than yours. By 2 goals.
You mean that our
30 seconds.
You mean that our NHL teams, right? Because that's true too.
Women don't play in the NHL.
I know, that's what I'm getting at. The Canadian women's hockey team is better than the NHL.
Oh gosh, probably.
Well, than the American side. It's that Tim Hortons, man. That shit fuels you.
I don't know why.
I don't know either.
Dutch Brothers so much.
I know exactly why.
Dutch
I know exactly
Brothers.
why. You drink 2 large Timmies. You're like, I need to end this game as soon as I can so I can get off this ice and go take a crap. Like, oh my god. That's what it is.
What's the second thing? You stop the R word.
So stop the R word, and then I never ever used faggot ever in that sense, but for a while I defended people using it for the joke and like freedom of speech and all that shit. And I've come around on the defense as well. I won't ever stand up for someone, and it was a gay comedian on the Louis C.K. show that turned that completely and utterly turned me. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, Louis C.K. uses it, and he uses it in the Boston sense, like, but when this guy talked about how what you don't understand when you say it is that every gay person has heard that word as they were having the shit kicked out of them. or as they were being screamed at, or called an abomination, or called, an affront to God, which I guess is the same thing as an abomination. But they that is the word that gets hurled, and so hearing that really kind of made me go, freedom of speech is one thing, but being an asshole is being an asshole. And I'm not.
Yeah, but you're free to be an asshole. I mean, I'm not going to defend them,
but I'm not going to defend them. Exactly.
But
I'm not going to defend their freedom of speech. Or I'm not going. Well, I'll defend their freedom of speech always.
Right.
But I'm not going to say, hey, no, you go ahead and say that. That's a good. You're protecting the freedom of speech by saying that.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to say that. Fuck that.
No.
They're not protecting the freedom of speech by saying that.
The one I learned at RadCon.
Yeah.
And it's partially RadCon's fault for putting it in the title. And I didn't really think about it, but girls in gaming.
Yeah, it's not women, it's not females.
Nope.
It's girls.
And we don't say, we might say, hey, the boys are going to get together and play some D&D, but we don't refer to each other as boys. We're guys.
Guys, men.
The dudes, whatever, but it's always, hey, it's a gamer girl or a gamer chick. And it's never, hey, there's a woman in gaming.
Well, so that's why when I started the Twitter handle, it was women in gaming.
Oh, good.
But
what Twitter handle?
Women in gaming. I started so this is another kind of one of those situations where I wasn't representative of the thing I was fighting for, so while the support is appreciated, I'm sure I'm not the right person to be leading the fight.
Right, which is why I should not have been on a panel for girls in gaming.
It's true. I created a Twitter account for women in gaming, and immediately was like, oh, a woman really needs to take this over. Because, being a friend to a cause, or being understanding of a cause, is very different than being directly affected by that cause.
Yes.
So I felt that someone like a Kat Ogden should have taken it over. And
or
Trin, or any
Any female in gaming.
Any female in gaming who's, also on Twitter.
Yeah. Okay.
Twitter's a weird world, man. I've been getting used to it, but it's a weird world.
I can't get that.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm taking a poop.
So we've got. Let's get through these first, since that last one's kind of about our.
That's not the last one.
Oh, okay. Well, do you want to do that one first?
We'll save that one.
Okay.
I just want to do a quick thank you to everyone who ordered the 2 Bards t-shirts.
Thank you.
We hit 22. Seth bought 2 more. He bought a large black and an extra large black t-shirt. So if you didn't get in on the early buy and still want them, you can go still to the same www.tinyurl.com/bardshirt, all in lowercase, and pick those up. But we hit 22, woo, which is awesome. Also, Laura says Happy Ragnarok.
Good. It's about time.
Brophy had to tell me what in the hell that was, because I thought it was a death metal band or something.
Well, I think it probably was. Yeah.
Yeah. But, okay, we're all going to Valhalla.
Not all of us, buddy. You gotta be a warrior to get into Valhalla. Yeah. Ragnarok, the wolves are just gonna come and tear apart the earth and the whole thing with Odin and all that jazz. Is it Odin?
Viking? Yeah.
Yeah.
Thor, Odin. Loki.
Yeah.
Which isn't Loki Hawaiian?
What? Are you thinking of Loco?
Oh, Kokopelli. Never mind.
You mean the rain god?
Sure.
Or is he the volcano god? He's the volcano god. Let's go with volcano.
Okay.
So Brian Lewis follows up, by the way, with, is there a mistake you made somewhere in life that you use as a great lesson to become a better person? I think I kind of hit on it. I used to be so much about my personal freedoms that I neglected to think about how it made other people feel. I was basically like, I want you to have all the freedom too, but I'm going to use my freedom. It was essentially a privilege thing. I used privilege as a way to say, oh, I'm just you're encroaching on my freedom, blah blah blah. And this is like a teenage sort of thing,
sure.
An angry writer thing.
White Idahoan.
No, it was Spokenite.
Spokenite?
Yeah. Don't pin Idaho on me, dude. That's just a few years.
I want my guns.
Yeah,
my tobacco.
I want my meth. Spokenite.
What's the question again?
Have you ever had a mistake that you made that's like kind of made you a better person in retrospect by
apparently shitting on our viewers?
Oh,
even though I didn't mean to be shitting on viewers.
So this is what you're talking about, right? This very
right
thing?
Here.
Okay.
I would have to say that that is an unfair question for me to pull out of my ass right now, because I think that it should have time to simmer, percolate. But I can't, and I'm loath to admit this, but I can't think of something like that. I mean, there have been moments. I mean,
I've made mistakes. You just haven't learned from them.
I've used. Well, I mean, I used the R word a lot until Brian and Tiffany, sort of educated me on that.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of moments. Some of them here on this podcast where I sound like a total racist douchebag asshole, and I'm trying to change the way that I think about some things, but there's other things that I won't, and they're my right.
You won't right now. I think everybody changes over time. You never know. You never know.
No.
Right.
I mean, and I am becoming more aware. I've always thought that I was empathetic, but I'm discovering that I'm not what I thought I was.
Right.
And I'm trying to be more open and understanding those things. I think I'm still evolving to answer the question.
A rule of thumb that I've started living by is if the
that is an awful statement to say.
Oh, right, because of the etymology of it.
Yes.
So I heard the etymology is fake. I heard that the whole beating stick thing was actually made up for the rule of thumb. I heard it's always meant just a rule on hand, essentially. Anyway,
okay.
So a generalized rule that I follow. No, thank you.
I just wanted to get you on one thing.
Yeah, that's fine.
I told you my brain's firing. It's 1:30.
A generalized rule that I follow is if the only people who say something doesn't exist are the people who benefit by it not existing, then it exists. So people who say that sexism doesn't exist in the workplace, or people who say they tend to be male,
yes,
they tend to already have privilege. People who say that racism is vanquished are white.
They're not awake.
Yeah, exactly. Like, generally, if someone really, 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 like, says an ism or something doesn't exist, and they benefit from it, that, I think, should be submittable as proof that it does.
That it does, yeah.
But then, there's another hard sort of situation we're in right now, and what that is everybody deserves to be treated as a human being.
Yeah.
Everybody deserves representation. But media still has to make money currently, so mainstream media doesn't give representation.
No.
Because they don't get... A pocket group isn't going to net them anything.
No.
So independent films have to take targeted approaches. I read a review of Gamers, Hands of Fate, that was up in arms that we didn't represent people of color, transgender, LGBT, etc. Now, that being said, there was kind of I think we kind of represented LGBT because there's a going feeling that Jace was gay. But it wasn't defining of him. It didn't define him in any way. That's just it. It was one of those things. Like, it just was a thing behind the scenes.
I thought we were going to go with Team Veg t-shirts or something.
Well, Team Veg t-shirts did happen.
Right.
But
I've never heard the whole thing about Jace being...
Well, no, and you wouldn't have heard it because it wasn't supposed to be a driving factor. I think it was just something they kept in mind for the character. So, that being said, it wasn't super apparent. So... Sure. LGBT people feel that there was no representation in the film. And there was kind of no representation in the film because we picked a battle. We picked a group of people who are currently being ostracized and focused on that.
Yeah.
And in fairness, that group is about 50% of gamers. It is the largest swath of people.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the huge swath. So, people of color, I think the official answer given for that was kind of a cop-out. Only 3 showed up to the audition. I think that's a cop-out. I think that, I agree, we need more people of color coming out to auditions, too, by the way. If you are an actor, please come to our auditions. Please.
When they had them?
Because we had Dom, and then we had Evan Shimano, and then the third person of color who auditioned didn't get the part. Dom was the ring announcer.
Oh, yeah. Dominic. Okay, yeah. Sorry. Dom. I was thinking Dom Zook for a minute because he's got ties to us, and I'm like,
right,
no, he's pretty much
white.
a
He's white
California white guy.
Yeah, but so what it comes down to is trying to think about this stuff, trying to find the right balance. You do sometimes still have to, when you're making films, make a choice to represent a group and exclude others.
Well, I mean, you can't write a movie that includes everybody.
It's not intentionally really, because Journey Quest came close. That's a joke about too many speaking roles, by the way.
Yeah. I want gamers and to fake too many speaking roles.
Now, what I think needs to happen is more LGBT people need to get involved in film. They need to bring these to these production companies, and then the production companies can back and help and get their films created.
Well, or write them. I mean, Matt didn't write a movie based on that. Not because he couldn't, not because he didn't want to.
Yeah.
But that's not the story that he was telling. So I find that argument to be wholly vacuous.
I don't find it to be wholly vacuous.
I do, because Matt
didn't
write.
Let me explain why.
Okay.
So the issue at hand is the feeling of not having representation. So when you find people who are willing to represent the fringes and you still don't get represented, I understand why it hurts a little more. I'm not saying that it's wrong, by the way. I'm not disagreeing with you that it's wrong that it didn't happen in the film. And also, I don't know if Matt would have been the right person in his mindset at the time to write that role anyway.
He's not the right person to write that role, period. So, he has no point of reference.
Right. So, that being said, it wouldn't have been a good fit for the movie to have it in, I agree, but I do understand why people feel, because this is how many movies in a row now where they've been fairly whitewashed and fairly cisgendered.
But it's
what he knows.
What he knows.
I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing.
Sling Blade was not a movie of LGBT, no African American, no people of color, no Chinese, no Native American, no nothing except a bunch of Southern white people.
Mm-hmm.
My point is, why do you make the argument? I'm not disagreeing with the argument. I'm saying that it doesn't make sense for this particular movie.
So I didn't explain it very well.
Oh.
Because the movie is specifically about fandom and inclusion.
Oh.
That's why. So
I was thinking the female...
Right, no, I'm talking...
anti-misogynistic movie.
So, I mean...
I'm sorry, okay. Yes.
Yeah.
In that case, there should have been a scene or some inclusion of a broader spectrum. Yes. Right. Okay.
And maybe there shouldn't have been. The issue is it's not happening anywhere.
No.
It's not happening anywhere, and that's the part that I think is when you see it from people you love, it hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts, but it's not. I'm not arguing that it should have been there or that it shouldn't have been there. I'm just saying I understand where the feelings come from.
And now that I understand where that point came from, I understand it as well. I just want to make a really quick point. Well, not a point, an observation that I've come across. And this will be controversial.
Do it.
And I understand that. I believe that that Darkness Rising is a stronger anti-misogynistic message than Gamer's Hands of Fate.
I agree with you.
Because Joanna wasn't put out as a damsel in distress, was fighting against a stereotype, came out and kicked some major ass, and held her own on her own, and it wasn't written about.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't written in the same way that Hands of Fate was, as I'm going to give this message.
Well,
and it's something
right.
that I just realized in one of the panels at RadCon was like, wow, this is amazing.
I would argue that Darkness Rising was Joanna's story. Darkness Rising
No,
really...
it's all about Flynn.
Well, yeah, that's that. But it's always about Flynn. All of it. This
Always.
whole thing is...
Yeah.
Dude, this entire universe only exists so that Flynn can exist. We know that.
Everyone
That's a
loves the
given.
teal tights.
No, they don't. I can't. I'm sorry. I tried. I can't keep it together. No.
Brian Lewis will get this.
Yeah.
BC.
Oh, God.
Let's see if that takes you back.
So anyway.
Yes, sorry.
I would argue that Darkness is her story. And I agree. It's more feminist. I agree with a lot of that statement. The more important piece of data here is that every woman I have talked to also agrees.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I haven't talked to very many women about this specific topic.
Yeah.
I have not talked to very many about this specific topic. There were a few things like sort of the interaction between female Luster and Daphne that like some people were kind of edgy. I think she was just playing her character ultimately. So that doesn't bother me too much.
You can't remember, it was really Christian.
Yeah, and it doesn't bother me, and it also doesn't bother most of the female people I've talked to as well.
Right.
But there are things in Hands of Fate that... Now, the one thing everybody agrees about, or every female... Because to me, again, this is the important... The important data is how do women feel in gaming. If you're going to tell a story about women in gaming, you need to know how women in gaming really feel.
Yes.
They all feel... Like, everyone's like, oh, you're overblowing it. Everyone, all the white guys, are like, oh, you're overblowing it, my neck beard itches, and you're overblowing it, and that's not really what it's like.
Mom, make me a sandwich!
It's totally like that. Like, every woman I've talked to, that's what it's like. I don't even play CCGs because I don't like the attitude of that world.
Yeah.
That world has a very, very destructive, beat-down, vile, acrid attitude that hopefully will change because they seem like they'd be a lot of fun to get into. CCGs do seem like they'd be a lot of fun. They're math-based storytelling. Okay. Well, I mean, but it's all math-based storytelling, right? That's what D&D is.
Yeah.
So, the women I've talked to about this specific topic have all felt kind of what you said, that Daphne was thrown into a very common situation because women don't get invited to gaming groups that are already male unless they come as the +1 to another.
Right.
Usually. And so you're always overcoming a stigma, you're always overcoming this crap. And so
Bikini male.
a lot of people felt like that was a really cool thing to acknowledge.
Yeah.
That, hey, and you have to go in, you have to, and I mean, not being a healer, right off the bat, just not being a healer,
Yeah.
that's an enormous thing because there's so much pressure usually on female gamers to be healers.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason.
Well, that's because what they know. They're nurturing and they're loving and...
This is sarcasm, by the way.
Yeah. This is sarcasm.
Yeah.
On
Apparently,
the podcast, you can't see me circling my face as a flashback to Brian Lewis.
We have a GIF of Brian Lewis, and I won't call it a GIF. It's a GIF.
It's a GIF. Not a
It's
gift.
a GIF. It's a GIF.
It is a gift.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that.
Any more questions?
Yeah, Tiffany asks, which Golden Girl do you most relate to?
The only two people still awake.
That one's easy. That one's easy. Dude, Rue McClanahan. That is the only Golden Girl I could relate to.
The mother of the Golden Girls.
No.
Rue
McClanahan's the saucy Southern one.
No, I know.
Oh, you.
I'm saying I'm identifying with not B. Arthur.
Arthur.
Maud.
She was the youngest too.
Yes.
Which is funny because she played the oldest.
But that woman is who I relate to.
Estelle Getty.
Estelle Getty, yes. She was just cantankerous and fun.
Yeah.
I still like B. Arthur. I relate to her because she reminds me of some of my family. But
well, I just love B. Arthur. I just love B. Arthur.
Back in Maine. She's very Maine.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta love...
Very East Coast.
You gotta love B. Arthur anyway.
Yes.
You can't not love someone who was in the Star Wars Christmas special. That's like a law. Except for you can love every...
She was like a queen of something.
I don't even know what she
I remember that. I can see the pictures in my head now.
Yeah.
I have that on VHS somewhere.
No.
I do.
No, I don't care. No.
I need to transfer it.
No.
I want to watch it again.
Okay. All right, fine.
Just so I can laugh at the Wookiee band in Jefferson Airplane as a hologram.
I just love the, like, gray-haired... I just... Life Day in general is just such a horrible thing.
So... Are we done all the questions?
Yeah, let's move on to it.
Yeah, we're... No, that's going to be long enough. Okay, so Laura Adams asks, right after RadCon, when you get Neil deGrasse Tyson, must think positively, on our show, what is the first question you will ask him? By the way, you may have already answered that question. I'm just a little bit hungover from the con. Sorry if you did. We didn't.
I thought we did.
Not the first question.
The first question.
We asked who we'd have on after that. And then she said, asked if we had a good time at RadCon. Oh, never mind. That's another question.
My first question, I think, would probably be around Hawking's theoretical, like the change of the theory about black holes to gray holes, and that there are no such thing as black holes, because if any light is emitted, it doesn't fit with the original take of a black hole. They are now showing that light is emitted usually as X-rays. So sort of the whole gray hole theory, does that change anything?
Really, that's your first question? My first question is, how the fuck did we get you on our podcast?
Oh, yeah, okay, well, yeah.
Seriously, you're here?
No, you're right. I would ask... Yeah.
Your first intelligent... I couldn't ask any of those questions. I would be going, how the fuck did we get you on our show?
Yeah, okay, no, you're right.
You would ask the smart questions, because I'd just be all like, science.
Yeah. I'm also interested in what his take is on the concept that all of the three-dimensional universe is actually an illusionary projection of a two-dimensional... So it's like a hologram of a two-dimensional universe.
Oh, my brain hurts.
Yeah, it's cool stuff.
Oh, you're making my brain hurt. Although X-rays are light?
Yes.
Okay, I thought they were X-rays.
They are,
I thought
and
they
are
had
light.
X-ray vision.
Gamma is light.
That's
so you're thinking about the visual spectrum. That's a teeny tiny itty bitty sliver of light wavelengths.
Oh.
So you've got a bunch of wavelengths that are shorter than the visible wavelength. So you go into your ultras, your ultraviolet, and like more blue, and then you get into really fast high energy wavelength. And you've got lower wavelengths which reach up to gamma, which are like hundreds and hundreds of meter wavelengths that the wave, when it does its little curve, it's like you got microwaves, which you can't see, but they're still light. They have about a 1 meter wavelength.
They're light?
Yes.
Okay, I am officially saying this right now on the podcast to the viewers at home. Andy makes me feel like a newborn infant because I'm a fucking idiot.
And also because my pants are off.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
It's a reason the camera's angled high.
So yeah,
dude, I'm serious. I just need to stop talking. I'm going to be sitting here in the corner just drooling.
So radio waves are light. That's emitting light. That's how that's communicating, is light.
What?
Yeah, radio waves are light. They're just light at a frequency that you can't see. Sorry, dude. Wave and a particle are walking side by side. So the wave and a particle, which one of us are not? I try to turn around. I try to touch you. No, okay, all right.
Conjunction, junction,
what's your function?
That's all I know. So, did we have a good time at RadCon? How hungover did you get? And Laura had some trouble on Sunday trying to remember how to use the elevator. We did not get that drunk.
No.
Although the elevator did cause us much distress.
The elevator caught fire.
Yes, it did.
The elevator caught fire.
We had a fire alarm.
Too many people were on it. It's not a party bus. It's a fucking elevator.
Yep.
Use the stairs. You know,
smoke poured out. We were
evacuated.
In bed.
Yep.
Heavy eyes, getting ready to turn off the South Park marathon that we were going through.
Yeah.
And I didn't even hear it. Andy's like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "What?" Oh, that high-pitched, annoying drum beat. And, then we had to go outside. Friendly reminder for all of you listening and watching. If there's a fire drill or alarm in your hotel, wear your fucking coat, wear some long pants, regardless of where you are. Because when you go out in shorts and a t-shirt in less than 40-degree weather and stand around waiting for them to open the doors, it gets a little nippy.
Yeah, and be a decent fucking human being. How's that for an idea?
Oh, that too.
You know, don't smoke at the door. All right, when people are like walking, just come on, fucking
There's
move.
300 people milling around. Don't smoke in the middle of 300 people.
Don't do that. Don't. Oh God, just don't do
be a
so many
douchebag.
things. Don't run around doing a drunk rendition of. You know what? Don't do the drunk rendition of Wizard of Oz, but do it away from people. You know. Oh,
and we're doing the drunk.
And for the love of fucking Pete, who probably would love some fucking. I don't know Pete. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. Seriously, don't stop and talk in the stairs. Don't use your phone in the stairs. Just get the fuck out of it. And don't grab every possession you have.
Oh, yeah. No,
Jesus.
haul your ass out. Maybe your tablet or something.
Yeah.
And your con badge.
Your phone.
Don't forget your con
phone.
badge. Oh, sorry. I started something.
Yeah. They required us to show our badges to get back in. You know, when we were evacuated for a fire and...
In the con wing.
And we did the thing where it's like, don't grab anything, just leave. So we did. We just left.
Begrudgingly.
And in the con wing, they wouldn't let us back in without our badges. And it is a probably 1/10 of a mile hike around the building to get back in.
But they did let us in.
They did let us in finally.
They radioed in because I said, do you know who I am?
And he said, no.
I didn't. I said, we're pros. We're pro guests here. Mm-hmm. I didn't say, do you know who I am?
They should have. Yeah, we were pro guests. They were anti-guests.
Yes.
Yeah. We do have more questions. They're still asking. It's not a question in this case. It's Brian says, nope, don't remember BC.
Bard Crotch.
Oh, right.
Seriously? Oh, Brian, I am mortally crushed.
Is that like the Gareth crotch from Labyrinth?
No, it was just the stupid purple tunic, and it barely covered the Bard Crotch. And Vance
Bard
kept
bulge?
referring to me as Bard Crotch.
Okay.
Because I was polite enough to wear a dance belt throughout filming for my own personal discomfort. If no one's worn a dance belt, try one with a hairy ass crack. And
it pairs well with a hairy ass crack.
Yes.
Don't get the Merlot. Get the dance belt and the hairy
ass crack. But we kept trying to hide it, except for the moment when I'm in the cart, and they got a full frontal Bard Crotch shot.
Yeah, it's about time.
Following me through in the cart. So
Game of Thrones right there.
A little bit.
Yeah.
little dinklage. That was not a short person joke.
It kind of was.
Okay, in fairness, it kind of was, but it wasn't intended as one.
Oh.
It was more of a Peter joke.
I'm just saying, you pulled your pants off, and they were like, oh, Christ, is my princess in another castle?
It's a Mario Brothers reference.
That is a Mario Brothers reference.
Yes! Yay!
Technically, it's a Super Mario Brothers reference. Mario Brothers, of course, didn't have the princess. They were just a one-screen game.
It's almost 2 o'clock in the morning.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, please me. Please me, buddy. Neil, you out there?
I thought we had more questions.
No, that was it. And then Tiffany told me to tell him the dark matter and dark energy are real. If Neil comes up.
Duh.
So. Dark energy is what happens when Scott drinks 5 monsters and Shane smokes a pack of Camels. No, it was Marlboro. I don't know. It was whatever was cheap.
Camels or American Spirit.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Camel.
Thank goodness it is nothing now.
Turkish Silver, yeah.
I just want to congratulate Scott for a long time, for a good chunk of time now, too.
Almost half a year.
Almost half a year.
And I've been officially unemployed for over a year. Yay, me! Fuck.
So, Neil
deGrasse Tyson, if you're out there and can hire me,
please give Scott a job.
And come on our podcast. That'd be awesome.
All right, thanks everyone on the live feed.
Thank you for you gluttons for punishment.
Thank you, Brian, Tiffany, Laura, for your questions. Yeti Sarge, I think it was Yeti Sarge. It's gone.
I think so.
It's scrolled so far now. Thank you guys for your questions. We really appreciate it. Hopefully next time it won't be butt ass early in the morning. Next week, are we gonna do it like butt ass early?
Oh no, we could maybe Friday night.
Okay.
Because I got rehearsals.
Yeah, rehearsals
Saturday.
are really screwing our schedule. So.
Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. If you're in the Olympia area through March, all of March 6th through the 29th, come see it. It's awesome. Okay.
All right, bye guys.
We're done. My character's name's Gooper. Gooper.
We know what Gooper is.
But they keep calling me Grouper. Did we cut it off before then?